I'm looking tired. I'm in pain. I hope you still enjoy the story time video. I'm not as enthusiastic as I normally would, and it's because I don't feel good. But we're going to go ahead and jump into this video. And this is a story time video. This story time is about the time I evicted my newborn. Yes, gotta go. No matter how small you are, you annoying me, you giving me trouble, you gotta go. So anyway, I'm gonna start off by giving y'all about a little bit of backstory on how I even came to terms with this. So I was 20 when I was pregnant, and I was having a bit of complications while I was pregnant. I even had to go on bed rest. From the beginning, I had to go back and forth to the hospital, back and forth. And it was heartbreaking. They told me that before you get 21 weeks, we can't allow you up on the units. There's nothing we could do if you lose a baby. You know, you got to be at least 21 weeks before we can save it. So I cried and everything. So anyway, and my doctor was saying I always call him every time he sat down to eat dinner. But long story short, the baby wound up being okay. I did have to go on bed rest, and they had a company that was coming out. The nurses came out, measured my stomach, listened to the heartbeat, make sure everything was okay with the baby, blah, 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 blah. But during my pregnancy along the way, you know, the baby growing, everything is stable. He's fine. He's growing at the normal rate. He is starting to like make me have to get up to go eat when I'm sound asleep. This is when all the problems started with the little sucker. No, this is when all the problems started. Now that you big enough to get your butt whooped. Anyway, so this is when it started. I was asleep, fast asleep, and he wanted something to eat. So I found myself forced to get out of the bed against my own will. I'm standing in the refrigerator door, mad, putting a cheese and an apple in my mouth, and was like, I actually feel like I'm fussing with the baby, like, here, take that and lay your behind down. So I went back and laid down, because mind you, the whole time I was pregnant, I was like, I'm not getting fat for nobody, not even for you, like that. So my mom used to be like, all you eat is peanut butter and jelly and orange juice. I was like, exactly, because I know he's getting the protein and everything he needs from me eating peanut butter and jelly and orange juice, because I'm not going to be pregnant my whole life, right? So anyway, during my pregnancy, I found out that, because I wound up having to go back and forth to the hospital, but I found out because I'm a Pepsi drinker, caffeine can be your worst enemy while you're pregnant. So at first I didn't know why I had to keep going back. I was dehydrated. They had to keep hooking IV to me, and you know, to hydrate my system to keep me from having contractions, because if your body is dehydrated, you're gonna go into early labor. So they had to give me a fluid, and I kept going back. I didn't know why. Eventually the doctors were smart enough to tell me, listen, stop with the caffeine, drink more water, blah 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 blah. But the fact that this happened taught me something. So now, fast forward a little bit. Now it's time for me to get ready to have my baby. I'm 35 weeks, because I also learned, because I was like studying. I didn't take nobody advice, because everybody pregnancy is different. People had a baby 15, 20 years ago and try to tell you how it's gonna go, and things change, and what they went through may not be what you go through. But I was doing videos from Blockbusters when Blockbuster was open. I was reading books, everything. So I was really up to date on and knew, and I was comfortable. And if you're young or if you're older, whatever it is, and you're not experiencing having a baby, the best thing you could do is educate yourself and not go on what somebody else's experience was. So anyway, so I found out from reading books and stuff like that and watching videos, like 35 weeks is full term, even though, you know, the baby is just growing. Like they say you go to 40 weeks, but at 35, the baby is fully developed. All the baby doing is gaining weight. So now mind you, I don't need you gaining more weight, because you already kicking me in my ribs, my lungs. I couldn't breathe. I kept going back to the hospital for oxygen. Felt like I was going to die. So the day I turned 35 weeks, because remember when I told y'all, they said, stay off the caffeine. That's why you keep winding up back to the hospital with Braxton Hicks going into labor, and we have to give you an IV. So I said, okay. 35 weeks, guess what I did? I didn't drink no water, let my body get totally dehydrated, went to the mall, walk up and down the mall. I wasn't no fool. I ain't go outside in the sun. I ain't punched myself in the stomach. I ain't did none of that. I just walked the mall back and forth and drank me a nice big Coca-Cola. Went home and laid down. That's right, before I overdid it. So anyway, my mom was getting ready to perm my hair. And remember I told y'all I was studying childbirth and delivery and knew everything they expect. So all of a sudden I felt a thump. So I was like, Mom, don't put the perm in your hair. I said, I'm going into labor. My water bag just bust. She was like, what you talk about? You don't know what you talk about. Because she figured like still, she been all through the whole pregnancy trying to tell me things and thinking I ain't know because I was so young and she was trying to educate me. But like I said, I was studying for myself. So I said, Mom, I'm telling you, don't put the perm on your head. I just felt the water bag bust. Then I went to the toilet. I seen the show. The show is when the mucus plug comes out of the cervix. And it's like it look like mucus, like snot and a little bit of blood. So right, I was like, I'm telling you. All of a sudden, she put the perm in her hair anyway, right? And then all of a sudden, you just seen all that water come down. Mind you, because again, I was studying and preparing, I had chucks that I bought from the hospital. So I had it for the car seat and everything. And so I was just taking them and I say, Mom, and she saw the water coming. She was like running around like a chicken with her head cut off, trying to help her get that perm out of her hair. And I was just laying up there all calm. She was like, calm down, Lisa, calm down. And I'm looking like, Mom, it's not me, you. I'm already calm. I know what was happening. I was trying to tell you. She was just running around going crazy, just lost her mind. And she took the so she took the perm out and she had to help her wrap her hair. So she had to actually go to the hospital. Look like a wet chicken. So anyway, that is the story of how I evicted my baby. I wanted to have him early, so I walked the mall, didn't drink anything but soda because I found out throughout my pregnancy by me not drinking enough water but drinking caffeine, it caused me, I don't know if it'll do the same thing to you, but it caused my system to become very dehydrated and go into premature labor. So I did that. I was at 35 weeks. I was like, you got to get out of here, buddy. I'm sick of you standing in my lungs and in my chest, okay? So, but anyway, I love him to pieces. I thank God that I did have him throughout the complications at the beginning. I didn't do that until he was nice, safe, and sound. And he was fully developed. The doctor told me he was fully developed. He was nice and strong. And from then on out, he was just growing and gaining weight. And I'm like, that's 5 more weeks and he's already over 7 pounds. Like, no. And I was small. I was like 115 pounds and I went up to 165 pounds. So I was like, no, I couldn't take it. I ain't tell the doctor that. I ain't tell nobody that. I just said in my head, like, I'm not finna keep this baby in my stomach no 40 weeks. So I evicted him by not drinking water and drinking caffeine and walking. So anyway, guys, I hope you absolutely enjoyed this story time video. It took a lot for me to do it. I'm sitting here in pain. And if you guys are not already subscribed to this channel, take this opportunity to do so. Click on the notification and subscription button down below so you'll know each and every time the family is here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.